By this episode, I'm bringing you a new what if they actually decide to make. This is a mixture of both My Hero Academia and Dragon Ball. Of what if Goku was the father of Deku, or what if Deku was reincarnated in Dragon Ball. Now, this will happen, if you want to this manga spoilers, it will happen after the war arc, when Deku delivered a finishing blow to Shigaraki. He would have died because of the constant blood loss. Seeing his friends being saved, he'll shed one tear out as he finally dies. But Deku will be faced in front of a being with incredible, powerful presence, and that will be me, AFK Geo. I'll explain to Deku that he's doing good to the world for a really long time, and I'm pretty proud of him to see a young hero doing so much. So I decided to give him a second chance. Deku asked what this second chance is, with me saying that I will reincarnate him in the world of Dragon Ball. Deku was confused by what I mean, but I'll explain the Dragon Ball world to Deku. With Deku learning everything about it, he actually asked about One for All, if he'll keep it. With me saying that he can use the original One for All, but he cannot use the other quirks. He can only use the original One for All, but he can increase the percentage to how much he wants as long as he trains. I explained exactly that he will be the son of Son Goku, a powerful Saiyan warrior with incredible potential, so his potential as a hybrid Saiyan will be immense. Deku would have thanked me with me reincarnating Deku with all his memories and the power of One for All. Eventually, Deku would have waken up. He would have been born the same age as Gohan, but unlike Gohan, Deku would have wanted to be trained by his father to see how powerful he will become in the future. With Goku seemingly not having a problem with that, decides to train with his son. Of course, Chi wants Deku to study, but most likely Deku would have actually shown how smart he is just by the time. He will most likely want to train with his father more than study. Of course, he will study, but also he will train with his father, balancing both of them. Eventually, Chi will realize that balancing between both training and studying is incredibly powerful for both of them. So she decides to let also Gohan train with them. Gohan is not much of a fighter, but he does learn martial arts from his father alongside how to use Ki. Deku actually managed to know how to use Ki a lot better, but he will most likely try to master his Great Ape transformation, knowing it for me. Eventually, he will explain to his father, but Goku actually realizes that he actually is the reason for Grandpa Gohan's death, but he decides to help his son master transformation. Eventually, after a long time, Deku will manage to master his Great Ape form. Goku will also get a lot stronger since Deku in his Great Ape form becomes a lot stronger than him. Eventually, they will train on the Kami's lookout. They decide to train a little bit in there so they can get much more powerful. They will not use Hyper Time Chamber, but they will do train. Now, I must say for Gohan, he will mostly have a power of around 120 when they meet the Z Fighters back, while Deku will have a power of around 500, being stronger than the other Z Fighters and even stronger than Piccolo, while Goku will have a staggering base power level of 1300. Now, I'm gonna say that because of Deku being so strong, his high potential increases his power in his Great form, you will say that Goku will most likely be able to gain much more gains with a couple of Zenkais. Of course, Naruto will still face off against Goku, but because Goku and Piccolo are stronger, they'll most likely be able to hit him off Naruto way better. Now, Deku also joined them as he uses a little Kamehameha to obliterate Naruto with Piccolo. Of course, Goku still sacrificed himself, but he would tell his son to protect his mothers alongside the others. With Deku knowing while having his tears, but knowing from me that he will be revived with the Dragon Balls, he decides to go with Piccolo and Gohan, deciding to make sure that his brother is alright alongside to train with him, since he knows how powerful Piccolo is. Piccolo actually knows that Deku is incredibly powerful, almost close to him, since Piccolo has a power of around 550. So he would have trained with Deku. Of course, Deku is much more motivated to train than anything else. Also, if we were Goku, most likely able to arrive on King Kai's planet in around 2 months instead of the original 6. So yeah, because he's a lot stronger, he has much more higher power level. Goku also been less affected by gravity, but he would still train incredibly hard, knowing that his son will also do the same. And Goku will continue to train alongside Goku and Gohan. The Z Fighters will also have the same power levels that they have in the original, while Piccolo have a power level ranging from, I want to say that his power will most likely be around 4,000, while Gohan has a power level of 3,500. Deku has the strongest of them, having a power level of 6,000, being stronger than Nappa at this point. While Goku will have a much more increased base power level, having a base power level of, I'm gonna say, around 40,000, Since Goku most likely gained much more Zenkais since he used the Kaioken a lot more, alongside being on Zenkai's plan for much longer time, he will most likely able to achieve that. He will also decide to get himself to be arrived 1 month early before the Saiyans arrives. He trains both Deku, Gohan, and Piccolo inside a time chamber for just 1 year, since he knows that Deku is just strong enough to handle it alongside Gohan. Eventually, they'll gain power. If you're wondering, they don't know Super Saiyan, but they were trained. They will manage to achieve Ikari alongside Gohan. Goku will also manage to achieve Ikari after them, eventually allowing for three of them to master it alongside Piccolo to get a lot stronger. Now, here's the power levels. I must say Goku is still the strongest, but they can use one for all to overpower him. If you're wondering, they can use. If you're wondering, for 1% of one for all, he can increase his power by 1. If he wants to use 100%, he wants to buy it by 100 times. It's practically like a Kaioken, so yeah. If you're wondering, Goku increases 1 for level to 250 at this point, which is incredibly impressive. For now, here's the power levels I'm giving them. Goku has a power level of around 120,000, being equal to his dynamic size itself. Deku having a power level of around 8,000, Piccolo 75,000, and Gohan 45,000. Now, I don't see it as far-fetched to say that they're this powerful, since Deku will concentrate with his bar and Piccolo to increase his power. Also, Piccolo most likely have the same personality as his dynamic counterpart, so yeah. This Piccolo is a lot more humble, almost like caring for both of them, so yeah. The Saiyans were alright, but they'll easily be defeated by by the four of them. Easily able to defeat them, they'll still retreat. Of course, Namek will still die. Why would you retreat to Namek? Ryoku not being injured, he'll most likely go into Namek using the gravity ship. This gravity ship is actually much more upgraded since they will most likely would have helped Bulma for the parts, so she'll most likely able to finish the ship in around 2 to 3 days. So this ship is a gravity ship. It can increase the gravity to around, I want to say 800 times. Now both Deku and Goku decide to take it so they can train inside of it, almost like Gohan. Piccolo will also join them as Bulma will use the ship of Kami so he can navigate them to the location. When they arrive, it'll already be passing around, I'm gonna say 4 days, but in these 4 days, both Goku, Deku, Gohan, and Piccolo would have increased their powers by miles away. Now, because of the gravity training alongside having 4 sparring partners, every one of them will most likely gain incredible boost in power. I must say that Goku managed to increase his power to have a base power load to around 3 million, being equal to his current counterpart. He can also use Kaioken times 30 if he wants to, since his body is much more durable. For Deku, he will learn the Kaioken from his father, so he can use around times 10, but in short bursts, of course. Deku has a power level to around, I want to say, 2.5 million. Pico has a power level to around 2 million, and Joe has a power level of around 1.8 million. Wow, which almost like have a much higher power level than the original. Having a power level, I would say not 24,000, but he almost like have a power level of around 80,000, being stronger. But he'll be no match to these Z fighters. So yeah. They'll easily manage to clear the Dragon Balls alongside stay on Frieza's radar, since they're much faster and much stronger. Deku would get his potential unlocked, and Gohan as well, while Piccolo will fuse with Nail. Piccolo will have around a base power level of around, I'm gonna say 12 million, while Deku, with his potential finally peaking, will most have a power level of around 15 million, Gohan 13 million. Goku also would have gotten a Zenkai thanks to battle with Frieza to handle so they can summon the dragon, with Goku having a base power level of around 15 million, being equal to Deku. Frieza would have killed Piccolo alongside killed Krillin. If you're wondering, yes, Krillin would have joined Bulma just for protection. If you're wondering, his power level raised from around 120,000, so yeah. Frieza will easily kill him, as if you're wondering, Krillin actually visited Goku and also knowing about Deku for a really long time. And Deku has actually seen Krillin as his uncle, would erase both Goku and Deku, basically able to transform both of them into Super Saiyans. At this point, Frieza will be terrified to see 2 Super Saiyans. And this is no joke if you guys are wondering. They both have the same power level of 750 million. At this point, both Goku and Deku are even stronger than Goku when he returned from Yardra. So they'll easily manage to disassemble Frieza, but Frieza will still blow up Namek with Gohan, Piccolo, Bulma, in the Rod Krillin managing to escape. Escape alongside Dende. So yeah, they will manage to escape while Goku and Deku will use the ship so he can travel to Yardra. Of course, most of the events that happen after the end of the Nemesis will most likely happen with Deku and Goku not being as much as injured as the original. They'll most likely wake up after 1 month because of their exhaustion of using Super Saiyan. So they would have trained by Adrenians and they'll easy match to master the Super Saiyan transformation, with both of them being incredibly stronger. Now, if you want to, Deku will most likely learn about inch transmission and force spirit vision, designed to use these techniques so he can control him way better. Goku would have mastered his inch transmission so he can get a lot more better of using it. With Deku designed to also use the cloning technique, seeing as way better since he does not split his energy. Also, Goku would have also learned that so he can be a lot more powerful. So yeah, eventually they will return in around in 2 months before the original timeline. So yeah, Deku and Goku will return with the Z virus to get incredibly strong. Of course, the hard virus will actually strike a lot earlier, but everyone will use Dragon Balls to make Goku don't have a hard virus. Frieza and King Kong will arrive, but they'll easily be dealt with both Deku and Goku using Super Saiyan to obliterate them. Trunks will actually be surprised and ask who Deku is. Goku explained that Deku is his son, with Trunks being confused, saying that Goku is supposed to be his own son, and Trunks realized that he is drawn to a different timeline. He also would have realized that Deku is in Super Saiyan and is not draining any of his energy. Trunks asked why is he not transforming back, where Deku explained that he and his father have mastered the transformation, which surprises Trunks. If wondering, Vegeta would have most likely said to join Z Fighters, alongside do not let his pride get into his way. Eventually, he will manage to learn Super Saiyan thanks to Gohan. If wondering, Gohan would have able to achieve Super Saiyan by training with his father and brother for 2 months, so he has unlocked Super Saiyan alongside help Vegeta achieve it. So yeah. Eventually, I'm gonna say the Z-Fighters will use the 2 years time skip so they can get a lot stronger. Vegeta would have trained with both Goku and Deku since they're the most powerful Saiyans, with Vegeta actually not being that far behind. Eventually, Vegeta managed to master the Super Saiyan alongside Gohan, Goku, and Deku actually tried to go even further beyond, achieving Super Saiyan 2 alongside Gohan. Gohan can barely control transformation while both Goku and Deku can use it at free will. Vegeta decides to actually go with them as they use our time chamber. Both Goku and Deku master Super Saiyan 2 alongside how Vegeta and Gohan master it as well, which is incredibly powerful at this point. And this is the end of this part. I'm currently enjoyed Saga in my next part. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Like, subscribe, and wait for more, guys. See you around.